Are you ready to build your own locally hosted camera network? Cayenue is an open source software that can do this for you. It's super easy to install and set up. So, let's get started. To find the software, visit the Cayenue homepage on GitHub. I'm going to install on my favorite Linux distribution, which is Fedora. Your system might be different, so check the instructions. At the top of the page are the installers. Click on your installer and the file downloads. On Fedora, all you need to do is click the downloaded file, and the installer will pop up. Click Install, enter your password to authorize the application, and that's all there is to it. For other Linux distros, you'll have to use the command line to install the program. See the instructions on the GitHub website for more details. You can open the program and pin it to the taskbar. You're now going to talk to your cameras and set them up in the program. Please keep in mind that the program works with cameras that use ONVIF. Most, but not all cameras can use this protocol. Notably, Ring and Nest cameras will not use ONVIF. For initial launch of the application, a blank screen is presented. Click the Discover button to find cameras on the network. This sends a broadcast packet over your local network that ONVIF cameras can recognize. A login screen is presented for each camera as it is found. You can sign in to the camera here, or you can set a universal login that will speed up the process. To skip login, press the Escape key. Navigate to the Settings tab of the application. Set a common username and password for the cameras. Navigate to the Discover tab and select Auto Discovery. Now, when the application is launched, the cameras are found automatically for you. If you're not seeing any cameras, please check your camera documentation. Many cameras that implement ONVIF do not have it enabled by default. Look for a setting in the camera app that will enable ONVIF. You can start the camera's streaming by clicking the Start All button. The up and down arrow keys may be used to switch between cameras. Notice that the white border in the display will highlight the current camera. You'll want to rename your cameras from the defaults to something memorable. Use the F2 key or right-click pop-up menu to rename each of the cameras. A short name is preferable. You'll see these names later as folder names when viewing saved files. Cameras are equipped with at least two streams. The main stream is a high-resolution stream. It captures a lot of detail and is good for recording. The substream is a low-resolution stream and is efficient for real-time viewing. When you first start a camera, the main stream is shown by default. If we look at the parameters in the Media tab, we can see the resolution. Another important factor to look at is the FPS. Higher resolution and FPS requires more computing power to process and will create larger files when recording. Change to the substream using the profile dropdown in the camera is now running at a lower resolution and FPS. This setting consumes less computing resources and allows us to view multiple streams efficiently. You may notice that some cameras have a distorted substream. This can be fixed with the aspect dropdown. Cayenue can manage multiple camera streams. I'll show you how to set up the substream for viewing and the main stream for recording. This will optimize performance, reducing compute load for real-time streaming while preserving quality for recording. The Media tab will set the profile used by the display, and you want to have this profile set to the low-resolution substream. To manage camera recording options, go to the System tab. By default, the record profile will be set to the main stream. If your camera supports audio and you would like to include audio in the recording, click the Record Audio checkbox. It is suggested to select the Record Always option for the program. This will ensure that any time the camera is running, it is also recording, so nothing is missed. Camera recordings can consume a lot of disk space. Cayenue can manage the storage for you so that doesn't become a problem. This is done by controlling the total amount of disk space used by the program. So that you don't run out of disk space from too many videos, let Cayenue manage it for you. At the top of the screen, navigate to the Settings tab, then select Storage. click the Auto Manage checkbox and accept the warning that the system is now controlling the video and pictures directories. The default maximum size for these directories is 100 gigabytes, and this can be changed up to the maximum limit shown. The directories for storage default to the system directories. These can be changed using the three-dot buttons if that is your preference. The max file duration box sets the file size limit in terms of how many minutes long each video file can be. Once a video file reaches this size, it is closed out, and a new video file is started for the stream. This feature ensures that video files don't get too big. There will be a few seconds of overlap between the old and new video files, so no data is lost. If we go back to the camera panel and start a stream, you notice that the record button will turn a red color. This is your indication that the stream is being recorded. Now we're going to add my AI friend YOLO here into the mix. He can watch the cameras for you and let you know if there is anything interesting out there. He works best with Intel iGPU or Apple Silicon. And he never sleeps. Isn't that right, YOLO? You're always working. To set up detections, start a camera streaming using the Substream low-resolution display. Navigate to the Video tab. Change the Video Analyzer drop-down selection to YOLO-X.py. Enable detections by clicking the checkbox. During the first run of the detector, a model file is downloaded from the official YOLO-X site on GitHub. A target is selected by clicking the plus button next to targets. You should now be viewing detections. It is possible to improve performance by skipping frames. The skip frame spin box can be used to reduce the load on the model. Higher values mean less work for the computer. This can greatly improve performance without significant reduction in accuracy. A model sample rate of once per second is recommended. To achieve this sample rate, set the skip frames to 1 less than the FPS of the camera stream. Using these recommended settings, it is possible to stream and detect a large number of cameras without stressing the computer. When YOLO detects something interesting in the camera stream, he takes a picture and saves it in the folder. The saved pictures and videos can be viewed with the built-in file browser. To open the file browser, you can either click the folder button on the front screen or use the Ctrl F key binding. The first time the file browser comes up, it can be a little jumbled, so I like to rearrange the headers. You can drag the header with the mouse to change its position. I like to set the date modified header next to the file name so the timestamp is more visible. Once you're happy with the layout, you can use the keyboard to navigate the screen. This is much faster than using the mouse. If the current element in the file list is a directory, it can be opened with the Enter key. Use the Enter key again to close the open directory. When a file is highlighted, the picture is shown automatically in the display. If you press the Enter key, the video for that timestamp starts automatically. Using the Escape key will stop the video and return to the picture, and pressing the Escape key again will clear the display. The Videos tab is very similar and operates the same way. There is a right-click menu that can give you detailed file information. Cayenue can be configured as a server so that cameras can be shared across your local network. We can share camera feeds, stored files, and even control the cameras from a client station. There's also an integrated web server, so you can view cameras from your web browser, even your phone. Connect with Tailscale for remote access. Cayenue can operate as a proxy server so that other devices on the network can view camera streams and receive alerts. This configuration has many benefits and is recommended even for small networks. For more information on this subject, please consult the documentation. To enable the server, navigate to the Proxy section of the Settings tab. Select the Server Radio button. The application will automatically download and configure the Media MTX proxy server from the official GitHub website. To enable web browser access to camera streams, click the Enable HTTP Server checkbox. Clients may now connect to the server using the Connect URL shown in the panel. A web browser can be used to view camera streams on the 8800 port. For mobile phone access, use the phone web browser and type in the address for your server. Cayenue can be installed as a client for use on other computers. You can view and control the cameras just as you would if you were working on the server. You can run the program in the background while you're working on other things. If Yolo sees something interesting, he can send an alert that will let you know. We can demonstrate the client function from a Windows computer. The program will appear the same as it does in Linux. Navigate to Settings and select the Proxy tab. Click the Client Radio button and enter the URL from the server. Make sure to type in the URL exactly, including the trailing slash character. Click the Update button and the program will be configured for client operation. The cameras can be viewed the same way as if you were working from the server itself. To receive alerts from the server, select the Video Alarm checkbox. If you have set up your server for Samba file access and mapped a drive on your client machine, you can view stored files. Open the file browser and use the directory selection box to set the pictures and videos directories. Please consult the documentation for detailed instructions on how to set up Samba on your server. Now the detection pictures from the server can be viewed from any client. There is also a refresh button in the control panel that can update the file list. If you're not seeing a detection, refresh the file list and it should come up. Cameras have timestamps that display when the video was recorded. If videos are used as evidence, having the correct timestamp is important. Cayenue can manage the camera timestamp so that it always shows the correct time. We can set up automatic time sync on the cameras so their timestamps are always correct. Setting this up may involve more steps depending on the camera, so please read the documentation for full details. Select a camera in the list and navigate to the Systems tab. Click the Sync Time button and the Time Settings dialog will appear. There are a few options here, but if you want to get started quickly, select the UTC as local option. This sets the algorithm the program uses so that camera time is synchronized directly with the computer to enable automatic sync. Navigate to the Settings General tab and select Auto Time Sync. Now the program will set the camera clock once per hour to keep it synchronized. Please note that many cameras have hardwired internal settings that can override the clock. This effect can be avoided by isolating the cameras on a private subnetwork. If this is an important feature for you, please take some time to read the documentation for a deeper understanding of this issue. Cayenue is a highly performant and responsive interface with many features that make using it easy. Let's have a look at some of them here. We can streamline the program launch so that cameras start automatically. Navigate to the Settings Discover tab to set this option. We can also speed up the launch by selecting cached addresses. This saves a step in the startup so it's a little bit faster. Once we're done setting everything up, we don't really need the control panel, so it can be dismissed with the F11 key. This will free up screen real estate for camera viewing. In this mode, you will be able to switch cameras using the up and down arrow keys. Note how the white border in the display follows the current camera. You can reshape the display any way you like, and Cayenue will automatically optimize the display. We can bring up a high-resolution focus screen by double-clicking a camera or by using the Enter key. Go back to the camera panel using the mouse or the Alt plus Tab key combination. Switch cameras with the arrow key and press Enter again to move the focus. If you have a PTZ-enabled camera, the Control plus arrow key combination can be used to move the camera. Zoom in and out with the Control plus page up and down keys. The focus window can be dismissed with the Escape key. The file browser can be opened using the Control F key combination. Key bindings can quickly review recent events. You might want to look at a video right away when an alert comes in. If you try to view an event while the camera is still recording the file, a message pops up. You can send a signal to continue recording in a new file so that you can view the event. We hope you have enjoyed this introduction to Cayenue. It has many more features and customizations to make it right for your situation, so please have a look at the documentation. And remember to take a break once in a while to go out and touch grass.